Fearscape Media Network, exploring the unknown, one podcast at a time.
Hello, dear friends. I'm your headmister, Lord Stephen Gearhart.
And I am your co-mister, the man with no name, Lance Wayne.
And together we are the Misters of let's try it again. The Misters of the Lance!
The Misters of the Dark!
Oh, shut up! Whatever. Join us wherever you stream your favorite podcasts or go to mistersofthedark.com, where we'll be discussing all things horror, from films and books to everything in betweensies. We also have the occasional victim. I mean, guest.
Only on the Fearscape Media Network.
Shut up, Lance! I always get the last laugh.
Ghosts in the Attics, Bodies in the Basements may contain graphic, violent, vulgar, or explicit content not suitable for all listeners. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome back to Ghosts in the Attics, Bodies in the Basements. I'm Anna.
I'm Lindsey, and we are here for special holiday time.
Yes, it's almost Christmas when you're listening. If you listen the day it came out, it's Christmas Eve. And if you're listening later than that, welcome. We're glad you're here. So, how have you been, Miss Lindsey?
It's been, gearing up for Christmas.
I was going to say, it's been a couple days since we've actually, talked, because work and
crazy time of year, yeah.
Kids are out of school. Yeah, Landon's out of school, and he's been staying up in true. I don't understand why man fashion. He has a sore throat, so he actually acts like he's dying. He's not.
The man cold. It starts, yeah.
It does. And then the other night he was fighting with his dad, and I was like, "Come on, now we're gonna go take medicine." He's like, well, it's not going to work. And I was like, okay, fine. It's not going to work.
Do that too. Medicine's not even going to work. I'm like, how do you know? How do you know it's not going to work?
Well, he woke up the next morning. He goes, okay, so it maybe worked. I said, it was the first thing he said to me. I said, what maybe worked? He goes, the medicine. Okay, fine.
Fine.
And I was like, good gracious. So, yeah.
At our house, it's been a whole lot of, I can't wait for Christmas to open presents. I was like, well, you're going to wait?
Oh, well, one of your kids already busted into a gift. So, the day you put it under the tree.
The day. And that's why I only originally had one gift per person under the tree. Because everybody was giving me a hard time. Why is there nothing under the tree? Why is there nothing on the tree yet, Mom? It's almost Christmas. Why is there nothing on the tree? Because y'all are nosy.
Yep.
There's nothing under the tree. Finally, I caved. I did it. I wrapped one gift per kid. And I walked out of the room for not even 5 minutes. Not even. I think I switched out laundry or something.
Right.
And walked back in there. It was one of those things because it should have been a really sweet moment. Except for there was deceit and lies. She was hugging it to herself.
Oh, except she knows better. And there's where the problem lies.
Yeah.
Because I remember you telling her as soon as you put it under the tree, don't touch that. It's for Christmas. And then what does she do? Mm-hmm. I won't. As soon as you walk out of the room, busted into that present.
She's alone. She's definitely a strong-willed child.
So since we last recorded, I went to see my friend Ashley. Hi, Ashley. And we went to celebrate her baby Jay's first birthday, and it was magical. Me and Ashley have been friends since we were Landon's age, so forever. Oh. That's like well, maybe a little older than Landon because he's almost in 3rd grade and I met her in 3rd grade. But we've kept in touch all these years, and I got to go to her baby's birthday, and it was so exciting and so special. And I went all the way to Tulsa to do it, and I drive all the way there, and I drive almost all the way home when I got in an accident.
Terrifying phone call I ever received.
Yeah, because it wasn't even for me; it was for my friend. So, our mutual friend Kristen. I was on the phone with Kristen when the accident happened, and then she was like,
hands-free,
hands-free, Bluetooth, all the things. But I was talking to her, and she heard the crash. Everything went dead, and then it came back alive in my car, and then I was able to call my husband and 911 and everything. So I'm driving a truck, and I'm in love because that's the loaner vehicle I got, and I've always wanted a truck. And then when me and Alan first got together, he had a truck, but it was one of those like with a half of a back seat, pretty much like it had one door that you could get into the back. It was stupid because the baby's car seat didn't fit in the back, so we had to get rid of it and get a bigger vehicle.
We had the same situation when I got pregnant. Yeah,
we just had to get a baby appropriate vehicle. And now I have this loaner truck, and it's going to be so difficult to give it back because I love it so much. For anyone wondering, I forgot to say, me and Landon are fine. I have no idea about my vehicle. It's in the shop, and it's right before Christmas. So who knows how long it'll take before they'll get to it because of how many cars were in front of me, in the queue and all that jazz. So maybe I'll get to enjoy this truck for a little while, and I pray that my car isn't completely totaled because I've never had a car accident where my vehicle got totaled as an adult.
Right.
I have no idea what that entails, nor do I want to find out. So, yay, fun.
I mean, any sort of anything, especially insurance related, is just time consuming. Big long waiting game.
It is. And it's one of those things where, oh, fuck, I need an adult. Oh, I'm the adult.
I'm the adult. No.
Yeah, pretty much. I was like, fuck. And I just kept screaming that over and over in the car as I'm off the phone with 911 waiting for the cops to get there. It was it's a week to the day before Christmas, and I get in a wreck, of course. So that was...
It rains, it pours.
That was my new
bookend on the year.
Right. That's my awesomeness this year. I swear this next year, it better be fucking exceptional because this one has tested my patience on every level.
I'm too scared to be like, this year better be better or whatever.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx it. I'm not saying it will be better. I'm saying it needs to be.
Oh, I 100% agree. I kind of want to hunker down and just nobody talk to me unless it's good news.
No shit. We welcome births, pregnancy announcements.
Not for us.
No, we can't. But I mean,
on us.
Anybody's good news like births, pregnancy announcements, you getting engaged, you got married, you bought your first house, fuck, you sold the house you hated. Whatever your situation is, we love that you're having great things. Let us know about them so we can find a reason to celebrate because this year has tried my patience, y'all.
I thought you were going to say this year is trash, and I was going to say yes.
It is trash. Well, not all of it's trash, though. That's the thing is it's been
a very confusing year.
Really shitty moments this year. I'm not even going to sugarcoat that. But then we started our podcast, and that's really exciting. And I mean, I got to see you 3 times this year so far. January, March, August.
Oh, okay. I think I forgot January because I went to you.
Yeah.
You came to me the other times.
Yeah. But I've got to see you 3 times this year. I got to see Kristen twice. It's good times. I get to see Marlena almost daily, at least 3 times a week because she lives a town away from me, but we work for the same people. So if I have to go in the office or if she gets bored after work, has nothing better to do, we hang out. So it's nice. And I have my awesome friend Candace. Hi, Candace, if you're listening. And Kayla, who is all the way across the country, but keeps in touch with me. I have good things in my life, but a lot has happened this year that has made it not so wonderful. And I'm just ready for some happy shit, like my Schitt's Creek themed birthday party.
Yes. Some more balance, because the best way, and it sounds, I guess, maybe cliche to describe the year as this way, but it has been such a roller coaster.
And it's
If I could
off
tell
the
you all-
rails.
Yes. If I could tell you all the details, which maybe one day I would be able to, if I could tell you all the details, just the first full week of January, how that
Right.
was up and down and up and down, and like, and when I say down, like obviously y'all know from talking to us what happened that week. Like it was down, like in the pits of hell, down. But then like there was good things happened that same week too. That one day I'll
Yeah.
be able to share, and like my brain could not comprehend all of it at once. And so I just want to not go through that again this year, please.
Right. Well, and like you have some potential exciting things coming up in the next year and your family, and no, she's not pregnant. Just throwing that out there.
No, never wish that on me.
I'm not. No. No more babies. They're cute and cuddly, and I want to borrow them and give them back to the appropriate person at the end of the day.
I saw a meme earlier today.
yeah?
I was like, I hope that my best friend gets pregnant for Christmas this year. And I was like, fuck this person. I don't remember who shared it. I'm not considered anywhere near the best friend. I was like, don't put that on me. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Don't put that on anybody unless they're actually asking for it.
So we talked about how the first of the year was a nightmare for me. And I'm going to be covering something that was a nightmare for another family around this time of year back in 1996. As I told you in the last episode, if you listened, if not, and you're brand new and this is your first time, welcome. I will be covering Jonbenet Ramsey today. And the holidays can be such a loving, joyous thing, but it turned into a horrible nightmare for this family and eventually the world. I don't think there's anyone in the world who is our age that hasn't heard about this.
Right.
Our age and up.
Even if they don't know like the nitty-gritty details or even the basis story.
Right.
I've heard of it in some capacity.
Absolutely. It's just absolutely heartbreaking because it was a child, but also because it was the day after Christmas. So without further ado, here's Jonbenet Ramsey. Jonbenet Ramsey was born August 6th in 1990.
I know I'm like interrupting you right at the start.
Oh, you're good.
I did not know until like a week ago that she's literally one day younger than me.
Isn't that weird? I didn't know that either.
I never really paid attention to the ages and the years and like all that. And so I always assumed she was a little bit older than me.
Yeah, I did too, because I'm technically older than her, but whenever she died, I was also a little kid.
Right.
So in my head, I was like, oh my God, that's horrible. Like a big kid died and she was younger than me. Sorry, I had the fucking
and like it wasn't until like last week I came across the TikTok Cookies and Crime.
Oh,
I don't know if that's
love
the handle, but I love cookie decorating videos. And then I love true crime stuff. And she's got like a really calming voice. She decorates cookies while she tells these stories. But she was like, August 6th, 1990. And like, I froze. I was like, why did I never put it together?
I didn't know that until I was looking it up. And after you told me, I was like, whoa. So it kind of puts that into a whole different perspective.
Oh yeah. Brand new.
So she was born at, can't read because, my glasses, they have something on them. Timeout. Fingerprints gone. All right. So back to what I was saying. She was born in Atlanta, Georgia. She was the youngest of Patricia, Patsy, and John Ramsey children. Now, she had an older brother, and his name was Burke. And Jonbenet Ramsey is a combination of her father's first and middle name, which I think is kind of sweet. John was a very impressive businessman. He was the president of Access Graphics, a computer software company, which later became a subsidy of Lockheed Martin. And I know, right? From Colorado. I remember driving past Lockheed all the time. I was like,
I was thinking of Lockheed in Texas, though.
Oh, yeah. There was
a lot
one
of people that worked there.
There was one right outside of base.
Was there?
Yeah, I believe there was.
I just know the one in Fort Worth because I used to live there and know several people who worked there. I took a tour once.
Oh, cool. Patsy was John's second wife, and eventually they moved their little family to Boulder, Colorado, where Access Graphics headquarters was located. Patsy and Jonbenet were very close. She entered her into a lot of beauty pageants for children where they lived in Boulder. She won several titles, such as American Royal Miss, Little Miss Colorado, Colorado State All-Star Kids Cover Girl, National Tiny Miss Beauty, and one that I can't pronounce, so I'm not even going to try to insult people. But wow. I mean, wow. And like we've all seen, well, most of us, if you're old enough to know the case, you've seen her picture. She was a beautiful girl. Mm. And that was, I feel, in the day where pageantry, it's not like Toddlers and Tiaras where they're giving them Mountain Dew and pixie sticks and like spray tans and they're
fake teeth, flippers.
Yeah, they may have had flippers, but I only say that because when I was little, my 2 front teeth were so bad that the dentist had to pull them when I was 2 years old. And they gave me baby dentures. Yeah, you heard it. Baby dentures. And it was just of my 2 front teeth. And they weren't like something you slid over. But I imagine if they had baby dentures, they also probably had flippers back then.
Yeah.
And fun fact, you know what song I hate the most about Christmas? All I Want for Christmas is my 2 front teeth because they were missing from the time I was 2 till the time I was 10. It was horrible. I digress. But yeah, she was absolutely stunning and she won so many different awards for being so talented, not just beautiful as well. And I mentioned it was Christmas episode in Boulder, Colorado of 1996, December 26th to be precise. John and Patsy Ramsey woke up to every parent's nightmare. I mean, literally, their 6-year-old child was missing. She was not in her bed. Patsy woke up early to prepare for an upcoming trip when she discovered a note on the staircase. It was a ransom note demanding $118,000. They also demanded no contact to the police for their daughter's safety. In return, Patsy immediately called the police, family, and numerous friends to help them search for the missing beauty queen. The police arrived at 5:55 a.m. They found no signs of forced entry. It is said investigators made many mistakes. They only closed off Jonbenet's room. So all those friends and family that she called that happened to show up, they were free to roam the rest of the house. And they were touching things and potentially destroying crucial evidence. The Boulder Police Department also shared evidence they had found with the Ramsey family during this chaos of that morning, which delayed the conducting of the formal interviews with their with her parents. So at 1 p.m., family and friends of Jonbenet and her parents were told by detectives to go around the house and see if anything was amiss. Well, the first place that was looked was the basement. Jonbenet's body was found almost immediately. Her father, John, picked up his daughter instantly and carried her up the stairs. This is a problem, though, because he destroyed the crime scene and disturbed any potential evidence that may have been there. So what exactly happened? We don't know. We don't know because, unfortunately, it is an unsolved case. The autopsy that was done on Jonbenet said she died from asphyxiation due to strangulation and additionally had a skull fracture. Her mouth had also been covered with duct tape. Her wrist and neck had been wrapped in a white cord. Her torso was covered with a white blanket. There was no evidence, and trigger warning, of rape. There was no semen found on her body. However, her vaginal area appeared to have been wiped clean, as if a sexual assault had indeed occurred. There was a makeshift garret made of a paintbrush and a large cord. And they found something in her stomach that appeared to be pineapple. Now, pineapple. Why does that sound familiar to you? Because there's a lot of controversy around this fucking pineapple, okay? I never understood like what people were talking about until I started doing research. Her parents claim to not remember her eating any pineapple at all. However, there was a bowl of pineapple in the kitchen. The bowl contained her 9-year-old brother Burke's fingerprints. Yeah. And a lot of people theorize that people in the home were to blame, and I'll get into that in a little bit, but they swear she didn't eat pineapple, but yet it clearly was in her system, so that's kind of weird. So we're going to move on to theories, because like I said, it is an unsolved case. So the big one, or one of the big ones, is the intruder theory. Investigators focused heavily on the family for many reasons. The Boulder police thought the ransom note was staged due to the unusually long handwritten note on paper that promised John Ramsey his daughter was safe and unharmed, but threatened to kill the little girl if the note writer's demands weren't met, and it was written on stationery found inside the Ramsey home.
Didn't it also ask for the exact amount of money he made as a bonus?
I was just getting to that, yes.
Okay.
So John had previously received a bonus earlier that year, and it was almost the exact same amount to the penny that he received as his bonus. The Ramsey family was very reluctant to help the police. They later said it was because they felt the cops would not do a full investigation and just target them as easy suspects. Yeah. The thing is, whenever you are reluctant, in my opinion, to help the police in any situation, you look really fucking shady, but I digress.
The Brian Laundrie case.
I was just thinking that, but I don't even know where that's at right now.
I don't either. I just, he refused to even just say anything. Like, when's the last time you saw Gabby? We're just trying to find her. Lawyer.
Right. Lawyer.
That's weird.
It is. So they were immediately questioned, and they were all asked to John, Burke, and Patsy to submit handwriting samples in order to prove they didn't, write the damn ransom note. John and Burke were cleared, except Patsy couldn't be conclusively cleared with her sample. The analysis was not further supported by any evidence, and despite a large pool of suspects, the media immediately focused on her parents. They spent years, under the harsh limelight of the public eye. I mean, they were scrutinized. I mean, they still do. You see those, I don't even know what you would want to call them, like those conspiracy theory magazines at the when you're checking out at the grocery store. Not necessarily like tabloids, because those have some cred to them sometimes, but the
real out there ones.
The real ones that are That boy. Yeah. Yes.
We both go there.
Because we're the same brain. But those were the type of magazines I always see it in as someone talked to Jonbenet and she said so-and-so did it, crap like that. And so it happened for years. Well, in 1999, a Colorado grand jury voted to indict the Ramseys on child endangerment and obstruction of a murder investigation. However, the prosecutor felt that the evidence did not meet the beyond reasonable doubt standard and declined to prosecute. Jonbenet's parents were never officially named as suspects in this murder. The alternative intruder theory has lots of physical evidence to support it. There was a boot print found next to her body, which did not belong to anyone in the family. But I do want to point out what I talked about earlier, where the family's friends and family
went all around.
like they went everywhere. So it could have belonged to anybody that was
There's
there
no
that day.
telling when the boot print got there.
Exactly. There was also a broken window in the basement, which was believed to be the most likely point of entry for an intruder. There was additionally DNA from drops of blood from an unknown male found on her underwear. Sorry, that made me like almost vomit.
That's horrible.
The floors in the Ramseys' home were heavily carpeted, making it plausible for an intruder to have carried her downstairs without waking up the family. Now, one of the most famous suspects was John Carr. He was arrested in 2006 when he confessed to killing Jonbenet by accident. He had drugged and sexually assaulted her. Carr was eventually dismissed as a suspect after it was revealed that no drugs had been found in Jonbenet's system. Police could not confirm he was in Boulder at the time, and his DNA did not match the profile from the sample that they found. So that was a bummer because they thought they caught the guy, and then it just fell apart.
Wonder why he confessed.
I wondered that about people who confessed to, like, not badgered into a confession. That's
the
different.
Ones who just take credit.
The ones who take credit for something they know they didn't do. I guess they want the, like, notoriety?
Oh my God,
get out of my brain. But I'm guessing it's for notoriety.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're just like so like broken they feel like that's the only kind of attention they deserve. I don't really know. Right. It's really messed up though to do that to people and get like their hopes up that justice will be served and it's not. Now, much of recent investigations in the case revolve around DNA profiles developed from the sample found in her underwear and the touch DNA later developed from her lawn johns. The profile from her underwear was entered into the CODIS, the National DNA Database, in 2003, but no matches have been identified. In 2006, Boulder District Attorney Mary Lacey took over the case. She agreed with the federal prosecutors that the intruder theory was more plausible than the Ramseys killing their own daughter. Under Lacey's lead investigations, investigators developed a DNA profile from the touch DNA left behind by skin cells on her lawn johns. And in 2008, Lacey released a statement detailing that the DNA evidence fully exonerated the Ramsey family, saying, quote, "The Boulder District Attorney's Office does not consider any member of the Ramsey family, including John, Patsy, or Burke Ramsey, as suspects in the case. We make this announcement now because we have recently obtained this new scientific evidence that adds significantly to the expository value," sorry, I can't say words, "of the previous scientific evidence. We do so with full appreciation for the other evidence in this case. Local, national, and even international publicity has focused on the murder of Jonbenet Ramsey. Many members of the public came to believe that one or more of the Ramseys, including her mother, her father, or even her brother, were responsible for this brutal homicide. Those suspects were not based on evidence that has been tested in court. Rather, they were based on evidence reported by the media." End quote. All right. So now what do you think's happened since then? Because I haven't heard anything. So in 2010, the case was officially reopened and renewed focus on the DNA samples, and further testing was conducted on the samples, and experts now believe that the sample is actually from 2 individuals rather than 1.
Oh, I don't think I heard that.
I hadn't either. In 2016, it was announced that the DNA would be sent to the Colorado Bureau of Investigations to be tested using more modern methods, and authorities hope to develop an even stronger DNA profile of her killer. In 2016, CBS aired The Case of Jonbenet Ramsey, which implied that her 9-year-old brother Burke was the killer, despite the fact that he was cleared by DNA evidence that proved the existence for an intruder to be the one at fault. Burke filed a $750 million lawsuit against CBS for defamation. The case was settled in 2019. And while the terms of the settlement were not disclosed by lawyers, the case was, quote, amicably resolved to the satisfaction of all parties, end quote. And like I said, unfortunately, Jonbenet's case is still open and it remains unsolved to this day. It is one of the most devastating cases that we've covered on here so far.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone should be murdered. Just throwing that out there. But when you
we emphasize that quite a bit.
I would hope so. But when you put the effort out to murder someone and that someone is a child and in such a horrific way, like, what the fuck is wrong with people?
Right.
And there are theories that I don't have like links for, but I have overheard over many years that like her parents covered it up because her brother did it. Well, obviously that's not true because DNA says it didn't happen. But
I think that is like the most famous theory, though.
Yeah,
that they protected one child for hurting the other.
Yeah, and so could you imagine being her brother and grieving and having everyone look at you sideways and say, you murdered your sister and your parents loved you more.
Horrible. Especially like a documentary comes out saying you did.
Right. It's fucking awful. I couldn't imagine. I feel so bad for Burke and I feel bad for John. Patsy has since passed. But I mean, I just feel bad for this family. I feel bad for the people they were really close to because
I mean, even if you speculated
an innocent life was lost.
Even if you did believe the Burke theory, I'm not saying I do. I think this is just a crazy case that never get solved. But let's play around for a minute that Burke somehow unintentionally took things too far, hurt his sister. It's all around just horrible and bad.
Like, and even if his parents were to have covered it up, they would have been found out. I mean,
right.
They did so much DNA evidence or investigation of the DNA evidence, I should say, that they were actually cleared. They did handwriting analysis, and the only person that wasn't cleared was the mother, but they decided that was not enough to use in court. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just really fucking sad. Merry fucking Christmas. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's some heavy shit. Sure.
But like I said, Merry Christmas.
It makes me feel kind of bad for what I'm going to talk about because it's heavy in a completely different type of way and not heavy to us adults.
Right.
But very heavy to children.
Or if you still believe.
Which had jingle bells. Can you hear this? Like Polar Express.
Right.
But, so speaking of Polar Express and everything, we all know Santa Claus, and we all know that the story Santa derives from St. Nicholas, famous saint, even after Protestants came about, whatever. Even though, like, we're not Catholic anymore, still popular. All of that, but do you know Santa was not always alone on his visits to children?
Oh, yeah? Did he bring an elf? I know he brings reindeer.
He brought a Krampus.
Ooh, yes.
Yes, we're going to talk about the Krampus today. And first of all, my comparison to this, for this, I should say, Elf on the Shelf. Have you ever talked about my opinions on Elf on the Shelf? Because they are not pleasant.
First of all, it's really fucking creepy. And your friend and one of our listeners that did Doll in the Hall is, I feel that's less terrifying than Elf on a Shelf.
I hate Elf on the Shelf. My kids beg me every year, can we get Elf on the Shelf? We have Elf on the Shelf at school. My friend has Elf on the Shelf. No, here's the thing. I was like, we don't need a creepy ass little elf over here making messes in my house.
No shit.
To spy on you all? I'm like, are you all that bad of kids?
Also,
Santa already knows everything.
has anyone ever seen, I don't know, Chucky? I don't need a toy to spy on me and come to life and move around. No fucking thank you.
And the whole thing is like, isn't it? They're supposed to report back to Santa if you're been naughty or nice or whatever.
Right.
No, you don't need that. But you know who else didn't need that? Was the people in the Alpine region of Austria. Because you want to know what happened if they misbehaved? The Krampus got them.
Skid 'em.
The Krampus, half man, half goat, furry, devilish thing. I've seen some pictures where he like literally looks like a red devil, and then some where he looks like a furry goat man, and then some that look more like, I guess, the movie version.
Oh yeah.
Big creepy goat man, basically. Apparently he has a 1 foot and 1 hoof.
Sweet.
That's interesting. He, like many Christmastime traditions, is likely predating Christian times and some sort of pagan creature, and then forced into the regular Christmastime traditions. Although the Catholic Church tried to ban Krampus.
Well, so did the Germans, because the Nazis were not a fan of that. And if they caught anybody from a TikTok I saw dressing up as Krampus, they would be like murdered.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I mean, I saw it on TikTok. Don't take that for fact.
Though.
You're the one covering this. I just heard it today on TikTok, and I was like,
I hadn't seen that.
I was like, damn, TikTok.
The legend says that he is the son of Hel, the Norse god of the underworld. I hope I pronounced that right. Like, it's just Hel, but it does make me wonder: is that where the name Hel comes from? Like, for like the place?
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
I didn't look more into it, but I thought that maybe somebody else knows and can tell us. But so Krampus visits kids in December alongside Saint Nick, or some stories have him like going on his own like before Saint Nick comes. And so here comes Saint Nick giving out gifts to all the well-behaved children, and Krampus would punish the bad kids, whipping them with tree branches. Sometimes he would eat them or drag them to hell.
Yeah, he was known to have a tub that he would carry around with him from the TikTok I saw, and he would take the especially bad children back to hell with him, and maybe even eat them if they pissed him off.
And so then everybody wakes up Christmas morning. I like laughed so hard when I read this in my source. It was like, the kids would wake up on the morning of December 6th, because St. Nick's Day is actually December 6th. I don't know why. It's now Santa comes the 25th.
Oh, weird.
Or the 24th into the 25th. But whatever. So the kids would all wake up and they would either open their gifts or nurse their injuries. And I'm like, imagine, because like in the whole research, I'm like, these kids, like, that's horrible. Like, they're being tortured or they're being dragged off to hell or like what have you. Like, that's horrible. But then like they didn't even know what was happening.
Oh God.
So they're just asleep getting beat with the tree branch and then wake up with lashes all over them.
That sounds like some like night hag shit that I'm not okay with.
Right. But giant goat man. You know, speaking of like, I'm just picturing it like towering over me now, which brings me to Halloween of this year. And there was a house in my neighborhood that had a bus in their front yard that was all like bloody handprints and fog machines and all that. It was a really cool setup. Because they had like the nun in the garage with a fog machine. Like the nun, like of the movie franchise.
Yeah.
And then like a Krampus on top of the bus. And I don't remember what the other guy was on top of the bus. I thought they were animatronics at first. But no, it was like actual people like dressed up. And then there was like a clown in the bus. Now I'm just picturing this giant Krampus towering over you, but like as a night hag.
Gosh. Speaking of night hags, sidebar, I had a hell of a night. I slept, woke up too hot with a headache, so I watched a little bit of TV while I cooled off, went back to bed. And when I went back to bed, I had nothing but nightmares. And I mean, like, lots of them, like mini movie nightmares. Like, and I would look at the clock and only like 2 or 3 minutes had passed. And I'd fall back asleep and more nightmares. And like one of which was, like I said, I have a truck for a rental, and I went outside to get something out of said truck, and there were black-eyed kids And
no.
Oh, but it gets better. They were in elf costumes, and they said Santa forgot them. Could they come inside? And I woke up and I was like, fuck this. And then
I'd rather have elf on the shelf than that.
Right? Oh gosh. And then I had another night dream. God bless me. I need
another night dream.
I need Red Bull. I had another nightmare that there was like my feet were sticking out from under the blankets and something drugged me into the closet, and it was like a skinwalker like person. I don't even know. And
can you say that name?
Oh shit. It was a knot deer. And
I saw one that was like a flesh pedestrian.
Right?
So a flesh pedestrian dragged me into the bed.
It was awful. And like I got away from it, and then its little like hoof was like dangling out. I don't even know. It was awful.
Ugh.
So what I'm telling you is don't watch The Real Housewives in the middle of the night and go back to sleep. You'll have nightmares.
Is one of the Real Housewives the Krampus?
No, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of something. Those women are funny. Like, listen, I'm sure it's all fake, but if it's not, I would not want that level of drama in my life. Woo!
Yeah. That's how I feel with like a lot of reality TV, where it's just like, this is your life, like this much drama all the time.
You know, The Hills really fucked me up because, you know, it was supposed to be like their lives, and then the very last scene is them on a like scripted set. And it's like,
really? I never watched it.
I never watched it either, but I heard about it enough. And I was like, well, that's fucked. So ever since that one show, I questioned everything.
A scripted show the whole time?
The whole time, apparently. I mean, don't get me wrong. People ended up hating each other for real. But apparently it was all like scripted out. Like they made them have problems. Yeah. Like a soap opera.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I follow a girl who was on Catfish, and she was saying, because like she answers questions about it sometimes, and she said that it's not like scripted. They'll be like, oh, hey, get on this topic or whatever, like kind of like guide the conversation, but it's not like scripted. So if that gives you any hope.
Yeah. I mean, but when you put that many women in one room and there's alcohol involved, I don't think it takes too much to piss somebody off.
I would just be over minding my own business.
You never see them just playing on their phone. It's not realistic enough for me. I need to see some bitch get mad, be like, why are you on your phone? Why are you not paying attention to me? And then like throw her wine on her.
I've never watched it, but I feel like that would probably happen on the Kardashian show.
On the episodes I watched, no, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, I just follow that girl on TikTok who does really, really good impressions of the Kardashians.
Oh, fun.
So I was like, yeah. And like, she's always like on her phone. But I've noticed that now, I'll sometimes, like when I'm genuinely listening to somebody, be like, yeah. But like, sometimes it gets, I'm like, I gotta stop watching that chick who does the Kardashians on TikTok.
That's funny. I was watching, we're on like such a sidebar. Sorry, people. I was watching this
Kardashians, Krampus, they start with the same letter.
Yes. Bible. They say that on the Kardashians. It makes sense if you know what it is. But there was this one TikToker, and I promise I'll let her get back to this in a second. But I was cracking up laughing because he's I don't know if he's really a teacher, but he pretends to be one on TikTok. And he reenacts like what it's like to teach elementary school children.
Oh my God. Is it why are you up?
Yes, I love him so much.
He's like one of my favorites. Lee McNasty or something like that.
Something. I don't know. It's fucking
I think he's really a teacher because I'm pretty sure he's recording like in his classroom.
That's fantastic.
Because people are like, I've seen people in the comments talk about like, you just do this during the day. And he's like, it's always after hours or like whatever.
I would assume there's no actual
like, for real,
kid.
like does like attempts cartwheels and shit.
Speaking of shit, that's the video I saw today. And this kid comes out and he's like, Mr. Whatever, there's poops all over the wall in the bathroom.
Oh no.
And he's like, aren't you the only one that's been in the bathroom today? And he's like, I don't know. It's one of the world's mysteries. And then he was like, got brown marker all over his hand. I don't know.
No.
It was so
I think
funny.
I've seen that one.
It was so funny.
His videos kill me because, I mean, I'm not a teacher, but I got kids and I've been around kids. They're so accurate. Kids really do say like just the craziest shit.
I
And
like
my favorite is the faces he makes when he does like the open mouth cough, like it's like so true.
not even that. This kid was like, my grandma calls me every Wednesday, tell me about her week. He's like, that's really nice.
She's been dead.
Yeah, she's been dead for 3 years. He's like, don't answer the phone.
Who are you talking to?
It's so funny. So me and Lindsay like TikTok. Krampus.
So Krampus. So Krampus night or Krampus Nacht, or I don't speak German. I don't know if I said that right. My face is so red from all this laughing.
Right.
I just saw it in the camera. But so Krampus night, they go out in the streets and it's like alcohol fueled just celebrations. And probably my favorite part of it is that people dress up as Krampus to terrorize children.
That's fantastic. Also though, it's no different in my opinion than when people take their children to take pictures for Christmas and the fucking Grinch pops out and chases them around. Because half the time, the big kids don't give a shit. But it's the little kids, like, I'd say 5 and under, that don't understand that this is not a real person dressed in a costume. They think it's really like a monster. It's just mean. I mean, it's all in good fun, but it's mean. So
I mean, I would never ever do. Okay, here's where I feel different but same.
Yeah.
I guess about the Grinch thing, because when people are doing, because I've seen those trends on TikTok and whatnot, where it's like cute little family portrait, and then the Grinch pops up and scares the daylights out of these children. Like that's just torturing the kids. I feel like with Krampus night, kids probably know it's coming.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I feel like it's got that going for it. Because if you've watched the Grinch, at the end of the day, the Grinch is not a bad guy.
No,
he just didn't like the commercialism of Christmas.
I'm going to get on my soapbox about the Grinch because
I love the Grinch.
I agree. He is probably, very misunderstood. People bullied the shit out of him.
Yeah.
He ran away. And then when he comes back, people are still assholes. And all they wanted to do was buy food. And so he says, fuck y'all. And if you're going to be mean to me, I'm going to just take what you love the most, because why not? And
it's all about items.
Back. Yeah.
If you pay attention, Cindy Lou Who was also pointing out that everybody only cared about the commercialism of Christmas instead of the meaning of Christmas.
Exactly.
And so Grinch just had the means to do something about it when Cindy Lou Who couldn't. Imagine Cindy Lou Who teaming up with the Grinch, not to save Christmas like they end up doing, but to steal it together. That would have been pretty cool.
What if, Jim Carrey, are you listening? What if Cindy Lou Who is now the mother and her daughter is Grinch-like, and the Grinch comes back and teaches her child how to love Christmas too?
Mm-hmm. Have you seen the meme, speaking of the Grinch, where it's like, his heart grew 3 sizes that day, and then he immediately died because that is a very serious medical condition.
That's so funny. But I think the Grinch is very misunderstood. I also will go on record, because I posted it on my Facebook last night. I was watching Just Friends, and that is one of my top 3, maybe 4 Christmas movies. And people are like, how is it a Christmas movie? How is it fucking not a Christmas movie? First of all, if Die Hard can be a Christmas movie, so can Just Friends. Because it's set in the holiday season.
Right.
It's just a comedy. I don't know. I thought it was like obviously a Christmas movie, but people were not so keen on that being a Christmas movie. So yeah, it's one of my favorite Christmas movies. I was watching it last night and quoting pretty much every line in the movie. And my husband hasn't seen it in a couple years, and he just kept cracking up. He was like, "Oh my God, blueberries!" And I was like, "Yeah, she's high on Vicodin. Like, it's hilarious." Like, I don't know. I love Anna Faris. I think she's so great, and Ryan Reynolds is phenomenal. But that's what I did yesterday. I watched that, and Lena was at a sleepover, and all the presents were already wrapped. So as soon as that movie was over, I went right to bed.
That sounds like a fun night.
It was. I mean, I also finished my notes for this episode, but
yeah, well,
procrastination is part of ADD.
But just to sum up the Krampus stuff, though, that's basically all I had on it. But I just have to say, we talked about a child opening it. It was a 3-year-old. I can't remember if we mentioned that, who opened up her present under the tree. She is very strong-willed. She has done everything in her power to terrorize us this month. And it has not mattered at all to her that we have threatened to call Santa. We have threatened to not take her to see Santa. We have threatened she will get coal in her stocking. She does not care. You know what she might care about?
Krampus.
She might care about Krampus.
No, she'd probably be like, he's cool. I don't care. Because she has the same mentality that Landon does. This, like, strong-willed fuck it attitude. Yeah, no, she reminds me a lot of my little boy. She has that strong-willed, don't give a fuck attitude most of the time. Sweet and cuddly, but on that occasion, like, whoa, buddy. So
I bet if I were to tell her, better behave or the Krampus is going to get you, she'd probably be like,
yeah.
She does this thing, drives me insane. She gives a look. Like, it's not always her mouth, really. It's this look she gives where
her lips are pursed and her eyes go up. Yep.
She side eyes. Sometimes she straight up smirks.
Ooh, no.
And I'm like, you better wipe that look off your face right now.
Right.
Like, or if she's doing something she knows wrong and then like smiles, like it's just the cutest thing she's ever done. And I'm like, it's not cute. Right. You're not cute right now.
Also, if you're not from like Southern-esque or Southern areas, cute is also a phrase we use that doesn't mean cute. It means like, well, how do you explain what cute is? That's adorable or whatever is how typically cute would be interpreted. Cute, the way we say it, is like smart-assed.
Mm-hmm.
If that,
I'm like, nope, better stop it right now. And so maybe I'm just be like, hey, Krampus is gonna get you. It actually is probably really frowned upon by psychologists, which I would understand because I'm not all about terrorizing your children. We talked about earlier. We don't agree with the using the Grinch at the photo shoots.
Oh yeah,
or whatever. But I'm be like, hey, remember that Krampus on the bus?
Landon,
we saw it.
Landon wouldn't give me a hug after he got home today. And I was like, listen, if you don't be nice to me, Krampus is going to get you. He goes, yeah, well, I don't care. He goes, I don't even know who that is. I said, he's Santa Claus's evil brother. He goes, oh, that's cool. And that was it. I
can't get over the imagery of Santa and Krampus going together. Santa's just filling stockings while Krampus is just beating kids with tree branches. And they're just asleep the whole time.
Right? That's so messed up. Well,
that's about it.
Yeah.
This is actually also not just our Christmas episode, but our last episode of 2021.
It is. It's kind of wild. We wish you guys the happiest of holidays, no matter what holiday you celebrate. And if you do, we won't have an episode out until after New Year's. So if you do partake in alcohol this New Year's and Christmas season, holiday season, please be safe. Do not drink and drive.
Never, ever drink and drive.
Please don't. It's stupid.
Call somebody for a ride. Call an Uber. Call a taxi.
It's scary. Please don't do that. Be safe. Be jolly. And at the end of the day, stay spooky, listeners. Bye.
Bye.
Hello.
Hey, Anna. Is that a new outfit? You look super cute.
It is. I just went to this really cute store in town called Mainstream Boutique.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, it's a really awesome store. It's like my little hidden secret. It's locally owned by a really wonderful woman named Kim. She's the kindest, most genuine person I've ever met. It's a women's retail boutique that offers a unique selection of clothes and apparel and accessories for all generations. So teenagers to 20 and up. It's magic. I mean, we've talked for years about what do we wear? I don't know what to wear at this age. I don't want to look like a teenager. This store is the store that has changed my outlook on how I appear as an adult.
Oh, that's so cool.
You
said it's a local store?
Yeah, it's local to Shawnee, Oklahoma, but they do ship.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to get on that website. What's their website?
Their website is mainstreamboutique.com. They also have a Facebook page, which is Mainstream Boutique of Shawnee. They're a apparel and accessories for multi-generations. Their mission, which I really stand behind, is to empower, strengthen, and celebrate women in the world throughout fashion. And I think that's so...
Oh, I love that.
And
I'm going right now to check that out, especially if they ship. That's awesome.
It's mainstreamboutique.com or Mainstream Boutique of Shawnee. We'll put all the links in our bio, but I have an exclusive for you guys. Are you ready?
What?
I talked to the owner today. For our listeners only, you get 10% off your full ticket items.
Oh my God.
All full priced items when you ring up, 10% off, whether it's online or in person. And if you go in person, tell them we said, hey, they said to use the code GABB for a discount code. And if you use our discount code, you get 10% off all full price items of your entire ticket. How cool is that?
That is amazing. I can't wait to go check it out.
Well, the next time you come visit me, we'll have to have a shopping spree.
I'm in.
GABB is your promo code. Thank you for listening to Ghosts in the Attics, Bodies in the Basement, a Fearscape Media podcast. Music by Stephen Timperley. Artwork by Laura Ramsey. Find us online at fearscapemedia.com/GABB podcast or on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at GABB podcast or email us gabbpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you.